Hello and happy Monday. I think we are all good here, ready to go. It is Money Mondays here again. I know it is a holiday. Many of you hopefully are off enjoying your day, but we're going to keep it going here. Money Mondays. It is time, January 20th. What I wanted to talk about today was we got a really good response from last week's Money Mondays, where I was talking a little bit about finding the value in things and how you can kind of calculate out, like if you're trying to make a purchase, what kind of value you can put against it based on like how many uses you think you can get out of something. And so, what I wanted to expand on a little bit today, based on some conversations that we had been having in the DMs, was how that applies to the fast fashion world. And I know a lot of us are sick of everybody complaining about fast fashion. And I think some of the really inspiring stuff that I've seen about fast fashion over the last just couple of months is people really encouraging us to stop complaining and just stop telling people to buy fast fashion, but to figure out how to learn from what they're doing and learn from what the customer goes to them for. There's an element of this like constant customer feedback loop that a lot of the fast fashion brands are tapping into. And I don't know if a lot of our other brands take the time to poll our customers and understand what it is that they want and what's trendy for them right now. And I understand, like, there's a caveat to that, right? Like, fast fashion is what it is because they poll their customers, they figure out what's going on right now, what's trendy right now, and then they make it right now. They make it super fast. Like, they don't take the time to go through a full development cycle, make sure the fit and the quality and the construction are of high quality. They just make it. Um, and so there's an element of like lower quality associated with that, of course. But it's hard for those of us who are dedicated to good fit, are dedicated to good quality, to sourcing quality materials, to making sure that our stuff is going to last in somebody's closet for years, if not decades, not just a month or two. It's a different business model completely. And so I understand that it's hard for some of our businesses to poll our customers, understand what it is that they want now, and then execute on that, right, in like 6, 9, 12 months and hope that they still want that. I understand that. And so there is like a difficulty there, but there's something in that. And I think that I don't know if I personally have all the answers right now, but I do think it's in my mind to start thinking about more and to start maybe researching more and talking to people about more in 2025 is how do we learn from what's happening and the successes that fast fashion is having so that we can not just have a piece of that pie, but how do we become the go-to brands for those customers? How do we create more brand loyalty? I mean, for me, all day, that's about fit. I don't think enough brands care about fit the way that they should. I hear from so many consumers, like when I talk to them about what I do as a fit engineer, that it's so needed because so rarely do they go to any brand, whether it's fast fashion or a higher quality garment or a higher quality brand who's like doing the full development stuff and making sure they're putting out higher quality stuff. Very rarely do I hear anybody say things fit me really well from any brand. And so there's an element of being able to apply that to your company a little bit better to create more brand loyalty. So when they're going to shop, they come to you first because they know that you're dedicated to fitting garments so that it truly fits their body. It makes them feel comfortable. And that comes down to fabric choices, right? Like, do you have the right kind of stretch? Do you have the right kind of softness in your fabric? Like, does it feel good to put it on? But then also when you're wearing it, does it fit the body right? Like, is it comfortable everywhere? Do your clothes almost like disappear? You don't have to think about them anymore. You don't have to pull them up. You don't have to zhuzh them or pull on anything or adjust your garments while you're wearing them. They just fit your body the way that they're supposed to, and they feel good and they stay put, and all of that can lead to the kind of customer loyalty and brand loyalty that I think we need to create on the sustainable side of the industry. That being said, though, I wanted to give you a little bit of insight into kind of how I shop. I mentioned it a little bit in last week's episode, Money Mondays episode, where I told you about like a nice bag that my family all went in on and purchased for me. And I've carried that bag every day for 10 years, whenever, well, not every day. I don't go out every day, but, and I don't always carry my purse when I go out, but when I do, it's the bag that I carry. And so I've gotten so many uses out of it. Like it's to the point where every single use of that bag has been pennies on the dollar at this point. And so that is how I tend to shop. Number one, when I buy a piece, it becomes a part of a wardrobe that says something about me. So I don't tend to buy trendy throwaway items that I'm never going to wear, or that are a color that I know doesn't look good on me, or is a cut of a garment that I know doesn't look good on me. Like at 40 now, I know what I can pull off and what I can't pull off. So I don't go out and just buy trendy stuff. And I also just don't spend money every single week on clothes for things that wouldn't necessarily fit into what I think my wardrobe is. Like I have a vision of how I dress every single day. And so I have basically like an at-home wardrobe. Like I wear a lot of hoodies. You guys probably have seen me on social. I wear a hoodie like every single day, a pullover hoodie, super kind of baggy, really comfortable. That is my MO. So if you know me personally, you probably see me in a hoodie anytime you're on Zoom with me, anytime we're in meetings, or anytime I go out. Now, on the professional side, I always try to make sure that I'm wearing something of our new brand colors. So, and that is a wide variety, right? Like we've got the bright pink, the bright blue, but we also have white, gray, and black. So that makes it easy for me because a lot of my closet is white, gray, and black. If I want to invest in a new piece, I really think about, is this more of a business piece? Can I wear this while I'm doing videos? Or can I wear this in a photo shoot? Or can I wear this when I'm taking meetings with clients and look professional while also looking on brand? And that might be a lot of thought process. Like you might not have a brand that you need to worry about, but at the same time, I want you to consider that what you are wearing on a regular basis and how you show up at anything is your personal brand. And so even though my personal brand is like out here on video being displayed to you right now, you should consider that even if you're not doing all of this social media stuff or video or putting your face out there in photos on a regular basis, like you do have a personal brand that you portray to other people. And so when I shop, I do that. I buy one or two pieces at a time. If it's something that like I I really feel like maybe I need another button down shirt, something like that. Or I find something that is of really high quality. Like I had a video out the other week that said, I was reading a Vogue magazine, and for the first time in my life, I was able to turn the page of a Vogue magazine, see a piece that I really, really loved, and go, that would look great on me. That is the right color that I want, everything about it. And I went and then I purchased it from the designer. That's the first time I've ever done that. Like by reading a magazine and then finding a piece that I wanted. Sometimes I'll go out and go purposefully to a higher end store, like where I know I'm trying to curate and collect some more designer pieces and some more really high end pieces. And at that point, I really can only buy one piece at a time. And so I make sure that I'm buying the best piece in the store for me, or the best fitting piece. I try things on a lot. I don't do a ton of online clothes shopping because I like to try things on my body before I buy it. I think the return process in a lot of ways can be really cumbersome. And so I'm the type of person who, if I can't get to the store to try on garments or to see what that color is actually going to look like on my complexion in the mirror, if I can't do that, I probably am not buying it. So that's something a little bit about me and how I curate my shopping habits, how I do things. If I feel like I'm going to be able to wear a garment a lot of times, like this shirt, you guys have probably seen me in this button down black shirt a bazillion times by now. I have it in several colors. I think I have it in red, navy blue, bright blue. There's probably one other color in my closet. And I wear them all the time because they're easy to throw on. They don't fall apart. The fabric is soft. I don't have to like judge this garment all the time. I'm not pulling on it. It's not like a problem when I'm wearing it all the time. And so I have had these in my closet, I think, for 10 or 15 years. I take really good care of them. When I wash them, everything that I wash is on cold. If something isn't supposed to go in the dryer, it doesn't go in the dryer for me. It gets hung dry. Like, you should see my house on laundry day. There are clothes all over the place, hanging on doorknobs, hanging on strings that I've put up, hanging on holders and hangers that I've put up throughout the house to make sure that the items that shouldn't go in the dryer don't go in the dryer, because I want them to last me a really long time. If something needs to be dry cleaned, I take it to the dry cleaner. And if that's a pain in the ass for me, or I can't afford that on my budget for any one given time, like 10 years ago, it might not have been in my budget to have a dry cleaning fee every single month. And so I wouldn't wear those clothes as much because I didn't want to have to go to the dry cleaner all the time. Maybe I could only go every other month or once a quarter. And so I would wear a dry clean garment maybe rarely, and then I would go to the dry cleaner once a quarter. And so there's all of those kinds of elements that kind of go into it. But there's just a sense of pride of having a closet that I've curated over time, a closet that really says something about me and that feels like I can pull any piece out at any given time and know that I'm representing my own personal brand, my own personality really, really well. And I think if I were shopping fast fashion all the time, number one, I wouldn't get nearly as many uses out of my garments. Anything that have bought fast fashion, even like, a decade ago, didn't last. It got holes in the fabric, the seams fell apart, or the trend was over really, really fast. And so I no longer look for those kinds of things. That's not how I shop. I don't want anything in my closet that's not going to stand the test of time in quality or in trend. And so I encourage you to just think about that. Like, having a closet, having a personality about the way that you dress, and maybe the personality that you have right now is really trendy and you want to be on trend all the time. But I encourage you to consider how much that's actually costing you. So you go to a fast fashion store and you buy something really cheap right now, but it doesn't last you very long. So you have to go back again in a couple months and do another shopping spree. And then you have to go back in a couple months after that and do another shopping spree. And if you're doing that every couple months to be on trend, or because your garments end up falling apart, are you actually spending a lot more on those pieces because you can't wear them as long as you would if you just bought one or two nice pieces at a time and it lived in your closet for years, if not decades? So there's something there that I think is important for us to all consider as we're shopping. It's like, people talk about it as like mindful shopping. Like, if you've ever heard of mindful eating, like, I'm sitting down to eat this meal, I'm really mindful of what's on my plate. I'm really mindful of how much of it I'm eating. I'm really mindful of what ingredients are in it. If you think about that, a lot of those people end up eating a lot healthier. And so it's similar with shopping. Like, if you're mindful about what you're buying, if you're mindful about what you're spending your money on, it's not like an emotional purchase all the time. I know a lot of people feel like it's a de-stressor to go shopping and to buy new things. But if you're mindful about it and you're really thinking about what it is that you're spending your money on, I think you can get a lot more out of it in the long run. So a little bit of a glimpse inside my life, inside my closet, inside how I shop, and especially as a member of the fashion industry. I saw a quote from, I think it was Vivienne Westwood the other day, who was saying, as a fashion designer, I encourage you to shop less. You should have pieces in your closet that mean a lot to you and that you want to keep forever. And I feel the same way. Like, you should be shopping for pieces that you want to keep forever, pieces that say something about you and say something about your personal brand. So if you liked this episode, please share it with people. Let me know what you thought. I'd love to discuss with you in the comments, and I'll be back next week. Have a great week ahead.